At this point in time, I'd like to introduce Glenn Porzak. Glenn has been a water attorney in Colorado since the early 70s, and he represents a whole number of different interests in Summit County and Eagle County, and he's fierce. And I like that about him. Let me just really quickly run off some of his clients. Vail Resorts, Eagle River Water and Sand, Upper Eagle Regional Water Authority, the Eagle Park Reservoir Company, Clinton Ditch and Reservoir Company, which I'm a board member on, and then 7 of the ski areas that operate up here in the high country. Glenn and Barney White, Summit County's water attorney, have been invaluable through this process. And he's also a cosmic traveler, by the way, and a fun guy to travel with. Glenn.
Thank you. On behalf of the towns and districts that provide water service to the over 85,000 residents and guests in Eagle County, and the ski areas in Eagle, Grant, and Summit counties that include 7 of Colorado's largest ski areas that collectively have over 7.5 million skier visit days per year. We want to recognize how truly historic and comprehensive this proposed water agreement is between Denver Water and a major segment of Colorado's in the state's western slope. Not only will this agreement protect the stream flows in the Eagle River Basin and ensure that any future water projects in that basin will be a cooperative venture between Denver and the water users and water providers in Eagle County. This agreement is also precedent because it includes the private sector as well, and ensures that there will be sufficient water for Colorado's most popular ski resorts, which comprise one of the West Slopes and indeed one of Colorado's largest and most important industries. You know, as someone who supposedly knows a bit about Mount Everest, having been to its summit, simply put, this will be the Mount Everest of water agreements. It's now my distinct pleasure to introduce Mr. Keith Lambert, who's been the mayor of Rifle for many years, over a decade. And he previously, prior to that, served as president of the Rifle Fire Protection District, and serves on just countless number of local boards. He's here to represent the Middle Colorado District, and that's fitting because he was chair of the Colorado Municipal League's Energy Committee and a member of CML's Policy Committee. He's also a retired teacher from the Garfield School District and a former instructor at Colorado Mountain College. It's my distinct pleasure and honor to introduce Mayor Lambert.
Well, good morning, all. First of all, I'd like to say what an honor it is for me to be part of this auspicious panel today. I do have to say, though, that I feel like a pair of brown shoes in a sea of tuxedos. It is also nice to recognize that there is another member of this panel who has good, strong mayoral roots. So, thank you. I'd like to start out by thanking the governor and all of the partners who have worked so diligently to get to this momentous occasion today. This truly is a groundbreaking piece of work that has been done. I'd also like to recognize the Middle River District partners, especially Glenwood Springs and Rifle, and take a moment to thank Carl Hanlon, who has been our representative in this process, representing the Middle River. These important negotiations recognized the entirety of the Colorado River Basin, from the headwaters to the Utah state line, and that is momentous for us in the lower river. It is of huge significance that there should there be future east slope water projects that Denver Water has committed to approaching this as a cooperative east slope, west slope venture. And of particular significance and importance to us is that the middle river users, whether they use the water for water consumption, recreational activities, or agricultural needs, the importance of the Shoshone water plant, or power plant, excuse me, the Shoshone water or power plant. The Shoshone power plant has a historic call on the Colorado River, and it has great significance for the lower part of the river. And it means that the flows will continue to come forward at the same level that we enjoy at this time into the future, even when the Shoshone may not be operating. This is really a historic agreement, and it is a historic day that we are celebrating here today. So with that, it is my pleasure to introduce a man who needs no introduction. Chris Treese.
We do want to open it up to the media for questions. This is a press conference, so if there are questions. Really? We can use words like comprehensive and precedential and east-west and no questions. Okay, I'm sorry, I can't see the light. Go ahead, please.
The question is, how does this agreement fit into other agreements that we have, such as the South Platte Watershed Protection Plan? It certainly affects our ability to cooperate with other water providers in the Denver Front Range area. It is part of a framework for a working relationship. You mentioned the South Platte, but also on the Colorado River in terms of moving forward on wild and scenic and other collaborative efforts that we have in place. So it's part of a pattern of continued working relationships that Denver Water has and that we will continue to forge into the future. This is really a Colorado agreement. We have a number of challenges as a state in the future on the Colorado River Basin with climate change and looming shortages in the Colorado River Basin. This partnership, I think, solidifies our position as a state as a whole to deal with those challenges moving into the future. But the agreement itself doesn't have interstate implications. The agreement does reference potential cooperative water projects between the East Slope and the West Slope. I mentioned Wilford Mountain Reservoir, which was a cooperative project between Denver Water and the Colorado River District. And the contemplation is that it would set the stage for cooperation, but there's nothing specific that is in the mind of, I think, the parties at this point in time. We're just happy to be where we are right now. Want to add to that at all, Eric?
Yeah, just one thing on storage, remember, is that by providing gross reservoir enlargement, it gives Denver more flexibility in how it operates its system and more certainty, so that when you have more storage in your system like what Denver has, whether it's on the East Slope or West Slope, it means that you can do things in a more comprehensive way to help out environmental flows. So it gives us more tools, and that idea that Denver could do things for the flows in the Fraser River because of storage is something we've always known and we're taking advantage of.
Question, I think if everybody wasn't able to hear that, is was there an opportunity, was there an intention to involve in the Northern Water District?
Well, we are in the middle of trying to complete an agreement with the Northern Colorado Water Conservancy District Municipal Subdistrict, which is the owner and operator of Windy Gap. I just say we're a few months behind this process, but I'm very optimistic that we'll get there as well.
Yes, ma'am.
The question is, do we have a mediator for the northern? Yes, and it's the same mediator. It's Mr. Bickerman. The mediation efforts have been in parallel and complementary of each other. So we do have a mediator, and it's the same mediator that's involved with the Denver process.
If that's it, Ron, please.
Governor Hickenlooper, this relationship over the years has been described as adversarial between Denver Water and the West Slope. Does this effectively mark a truce between the two?
Oh, I think it's more than a truce. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, for too long, people that had so many interests in common saw each other almost as enemies. It gets back to the old Lincoln quote of, "Do I not conquer my enemies when I make them my friends?" And I think the relationships that are built here will have an enduring effect and impact, for a long time. And I think, again, that's why the Board of Denver Water, all the representatives here, the people from the different counties, deserve so much credit, is that they have gone in there where, the expectation was that they wouldn't be able to find that common ground. And I think the real message that they ought to take this event and send it to Congress in Washington, right? And say, listen, if you put your heads together and work at it hard enough, you can find the compromises in almost anything, right? I just heard rumblings. No one wants to go to Washington. I wasn't suggesting that.
I want to thank everyone.
Can I-
Oh, yeah, James?
I'd like to
please.
add to that just a little bit. If we can get some of these agreements worked out or finish with the agreements, Shoshone, Green Mountain Administration, and the Blue River Decree, we're going to have to find something new to fight about, I guess, because we're one of the things we talked about is trying to get peace in our time, and that's what we're working on, and I think we've made a great step towards that. So I think we're well on our way for much more than just a truce.
Any final comments from the panel?
Just a reminder, last night I noted that we're here at Devil's Thumb. Devil's Thumb was a place where the Utes and the Arapaho tribe made a peace accord years and years ago, and the story is that it's called the Devil's Thumb. They left the Devil's Thumb out to remind them of the problems of not having peace.
I thank you all for joining us in this celebration. It is a celebration. As you leave, grab a glass of water, the good Grand County clear, clean water. The only other place you can get that water is anywhere in the Denver metro area. So, thank you all.